What's up, YouTube? We're back with another solo lane play-by-play in the A to Z series. Today, we're going to be playing some Anubis, which I am excited about because I love Anubis in Smite 2. He's a lot of fun. His kit is pretty clean, and he's just a cool character, you know? Anubis is actually, I think, maybe the first god I ever got to Diamond, or at least Legendary from Smite 1. He was, a very old character for one, but also he's very recognizable, Anubis in Egyptian mythology. I always thought he looked cool. He's a jackal or a dog or whatever, and I was like, hey, I want to play that character. And honestly, if you're new to Smite, I really recommend just like playing characters that just you recognize or you think would be fun or cool. Because it's just, I don't know. It makes you more interested in the character you're playing. I think it makes you feel more like you're playing an actual god. You know what I mean? So, so that's part of the reason I started to play him when I first started playing Smite, and I love him to this day. Today we're just going to be going I think I'm just going to go a full damage build. I've tried mosquito builds / bruiser builds on Anubis, basically where we go full tank or a bit of tank items, a little bit of utility, and they're just really not that great. His scaling is just so strong. His actual base damage isn't the greatest, but his scaling is insane. So if you just go full damage, you'll one-shot. Of course, I do like to try and make weird stuff work in solo lane, but I'm just going to go full damage build, try and show you guys how to play Anubis, how you can carry with Anubis, and yada yada yada. He is a bit of a pub stunt god, but before we get into the game, I'm not going to start my blue, by the way, but I am going to be there real quick. Let's try and just do a quick GeoGuessr. This is Japan for sure, right? W, Japan. We got the country right. You have to like the video. I didn't explain the rules, but you guys know the rules. If I get the country right, you like the video. We got the country right. W. All right. We're going to start wave, definitely with Conduit. You should be going Conduit on every int-based character right now. I would say Mage, but we all know that's not necessarily the case. But yeah, int-based characters you should be going Conduit on. It's got 5 more int than Sands of Time, which is pretty big. And then this passive is just so good for this early game pressure. Look, I just insta-cleared that wave. Anubis is already pretty good at insta-clearing the wave because of his 1. But yeah, he does have good wave clear in general. We get so much pressure from that that we can probably just go to our blue here. We're going to have to auto this big guy down for a while, but that's no problem. I went Aegis because they have Poseidon Kraken. They have Thanatos Execute. They also don't have a lot of like CC setup besides Baron, so I don't really need beads. I could have maybe gone Blink, but Aegis should buy us a lot of time in these engagements and fights. Should be good. Go ahead and grab that. Actually decent clear because our 1 came back up. We shouldn't miss any minions on this wave. You really don't want to be missing minions ever. So you got to make sure you buy yourself enough pressure to go to your blue after that first wave. And of course on Anubis we can do that, especially with Conduit. He got our smalls. That's fine. We might be able to out-clear him here. Let's check his build. He's got an aspect on Chalk, and he also, I think maybe he started his blue on his own with Sunder probably, because he actually went Sunder. We're going to hit level 3 on this wave. So he does actually have a lot of kill pressure because he went some damage as well, and his Sunder should be down right now. If he started alone, it's hard for me to say. I'm sitting on a cooldown here. I'm just going to go ahead and put a point in my stun. We end up trading these smalls. He got my smalls, I got his. All good. No big deal. So yeah, if you're new to Smite and you never played Anubis, kind of want to know what he does. His 1 is just a dot. He has a lot of dot damage abilities, damage over time. So his 1 is a dot, his 3 is a dot, and his ult is a dot. However, his 1, as you see, I'm using it right now. It's just like it's actually quite a big cone in front of you. I'm gonna actually max my 1 this game because I'm gonna be in like melee range of this Chalk for a lot of the game, and it's basically a melee range ability. And it does a lot of damage, so I'm going to max it. It should be pretty nice. Yeah, it's a nice little... it does a lot of damage. It's a little cone in front of you. Your 2 is a single target stun that's ranged, which is really strong. I'm going to go ahead and clear this real quick. He was walking into the jungle for some reason. I don't usually do this, but since I'm playing Anubis and I have such good damage early game and actually clearing stuff, I'll just snag that real quick and then wait for my cooldown to come back up, and we'll be able to get this as well. And then we'll go do our backs. Not the smalls, but the big guys. Always want to be doing something in basically every role, but especially in solo lane. Now we'll push wave, go do backs, come back, get the next wave, and try and do something else. Maybe poke them, maybe fight, since there's not much up anymore. Get that on cooldown. So yeah, your 2 is a range stun, which sets up the rest of your kit very well. It's a very strong ability. Honestly, any range stun in Smite is super good. It's also going to hit 5, I think, before we even kill the brute minion, yeah. We can't kill this guy. Your all-in potential at level 5 is pretty good, but we don't have our item yet, and it's a Chalk, so he's going to be a little bit tankier than maybe some other characters would be in this scenario. So your 3 is another dot ability, like I said, but it's just a circle AoE that you can throw out. Like I'll show you here when I clear the wave. Auto the minions back a little bit so they get grouped up a little bit better. And then I place my 3 on it, and then even at rank 1 with the Conduit proc, it almost full clear. So that early game clear is pretty good. We'll go do our smalls, doing the wave, and then we're doing something off of it or after. And then your ult, another dot ability, but it actually, one of the changes they made for Smite 2 is that it has a burst at the beginning of the ult. So there's a nice burst damage right when you click the ult. Not right when you click it, but just a couple of milliseconds after. And then, maybe not a couple of milliseconds, but, you know, shortly after. And then there's the dot damage that we all know and love from Smite 1. So that's one change they made to him. It's sort of like what they did with Anher. I think they just wanted to make it a little bit more noob-friendly, where, like, you know, you get a little bit more reward for, like, stunning and ulting. Or as Anher's case, you impale them and then ult, you get a nice burst damage at the end, I guess. I don't know. Anher, it's a little bit different, but just make it a little bit easier for people to kind of get rewarded for hitting their skill shot. Because, you know, if you have to, like, hit the whole Anubis ult from Smite 1 compared to what it is in Smite 2, you just kind of have to hit the burst and you'll get a lot of effectiveness out of it. I'll try and show you guys here soon. Hopefully we can get a nice ult off. Something maybe will give us a reason to use our ult. Go ahead and full clear that. We actually have 4 points in our 1 now and our level 7. I'm going to go ahead and reset here. So I'm going to rush Soul Gem. Some nice sustain in Soul Lane, and I'll grab some wards. We'll probably go... I'm going to go Necronomicon, actually. It's going to be hard to stack in solo unless we get some solo kills. So Necronomicon is a very high damage item. It gives you pen, and you get stacks for kills. 50 int per stack, so you can get up to 200 intelligence with this item. However, it lowers your protection, so it makes you very glass cannon. It lowers your protections for each stack. And when you die, you lose the stack. So it's very high risk, high reward. Like very high risk, high reward. I need to get these wards down, but we'll go ahead and go clear these big guys real quick. Just keep farming. Kind of always be doing something. Just based off us farming better than him, we're up 500 gold. We haven't even done anything. Like, we haven't poked him out. We haven't just efficient farming, wave to camp, camp to wave, all that kind of thing. What's funny is he also went Soul Gem, but that's not what was funny. What's funny is next patch that's coming out in a few days, I believe, is they're adding Bancrofts and Typhons, which are two really good Anubis items from Smite 1. So kind of funny that we ended up not being able to do it for this Anubis game, but I didn't want to have to wait, you know? We're trying to make this A to Z series and get done with it. Well, that's not the objective. You know, the objective is to enjoy the process and teach you guys and have some fun playing some stuff in solo, such as Anubis. All right, we got some nice wards out for now. We still have to be... Those are some good wards for the gank from jungle. You still have to worry about the TP gank if somebody TP's over here, or... is Chalk mid? I can't tell. He's mid, yeah. They actually survived the gank, so he's going to lose a whole wave and his back's here for that gank. That's why you don't really want to gank... Like, you can sometimes look for a gank before you push your wave, but he's going to get pretty far behind off of that. I'm going to be able to push this wave into tower as well, and then I can maybe look for his blue, and then he's going to have to decide between defending his blue and clearing the wave. So Susano is in my left jungle. I'm looking at the map right now, so this gives me a little bit more safety in invading this, because he can maybe back me up if I get chased out. I have Aegis to buy time and all that. He's still missing. I'm not sure what he's doing. Probably just annoyed he has to go against Anubis and he's trying to lead the lane as soon as possible. So yeah, next patch, I mean, Anubis is already pretty decent right now. He was really broken towards the beginning of Smite 2. Part of the reason for stuff like that is that there just weren't as many gods in the game, so there weren't as many counters, and then you just didn't have as many options. But I think Anubis is already pretty good right now, and with the addition of Bancrofts and Typhons, he'll be even better. He still has that passive from Smite 1 where he gets increased healing for lifesteal, so... is it the exact same? I forget exactly what it is. Bonus lifesteal tripled. Yeah, there you go. See, you also get the protections. You'll notice if you ever play against Anubis, you'll like be hitting him. If he's like casted his 1 on somebody or just like posted his 3 on something, and you start hitting him, you feel like he's really tanky. And it's just because of his passive. Those extra prots that he gets are very, very strong for him. Which also makes up for the Necronomicon loss of protections a bit. That's why I like Necronomicon on Raw is good. You get protections from your 3. That's why it's also good on a character like Anubis, is because you're kind of like making up for it because you're getting a bit of protections from your passive. So, and Necronomicon is like a crazy damage item. 200 int possible and penetration. Very good. We'll won this real quick. I just keep farming. It's kind of the farm game right now. It's pretty hard to kill a Chalk. He did not go defense, so it's possible we could kill him. I can back for my Necronomicon, but I kind of want to get his backs again. He's actually going to go to him here. Maybe we could just insta-clear this. It's going to one-shot him. See? And we could go for his backs, but he's not even going for him. I'm just going to go back and clear the wave, and then probably back for Necronomicon. Team's in a pretty good spot. My team's playing well. Lots of kills going on. There's always so much farm up, man. Like, this is coming up. I have my base TP up, so We'll just go ahead and back and get that. We'll grab some 2 more wards. Wards only last for 2 minutes in Smite 2, so you'll have to, if you're really trying to play safe, you'll have to buy them a little bit more often than you do in Smite 1. Look at this. We're up 1,500. I'm up 1,500 gold. I haven't really hit him or done anything. It's just from farming and the fact that he made a bad rotation and didn't get anything off of it. Good job by my team to not die to it. But either way, even if they died to it, he would have been behind. Because you lose too much for losing a whole wave and backs. Part of the issue with soloing right now. There's too much stuff up. And it feels really bad to rotate if nothing happens. I'll just keep doing this. I kind of want to start fighting though, because I really want this. I really want to get some Necronomicon stacks. So maybe we can get some fights going. Hello? Sorry. Alright. See, I only have 145 int. Like, if I went something else, if I went book into a different item, I'd have more int right now, but that's the risk, you know. No fights, so. Chalk is there. I'm just going to go and push that wave and then rotate. He's once again maybe going to lose his wave to tower. I could even go for blue here if nothing ends up happening. I do want to try and rotate here. It's a bit risky, but if I can get a kill and get a necro stack, I'll be pretty happy. Is somebody in this grass? Nobody's in this grass. That's too bad. They all just ran away. Still might be able to get this blue, though. Oh, yeah, he's on it. Should be able to steal this. Go ahead and... I was going to try and stun him. Actually, good secure by him. So he went double damage as well. So he's going to be pretty squishy. I should have been able to secure that, but I just missed my stun. I kind of want to all-in this guy now. I have enough damage where I can probably kill. Especially if his ult is down. If his ult is up, it's a little bit harder because it's a long duration damage mitigation from Chalk ult. So, let's see. I'm going to walk into the jungle here. Maybe he'll 2 this. He does get protections from his 2, remember? So, trying 3 plus stun into ult, and he should just be dead if we track it, which we did. Nice. Huge. It's actually funny. If he 1-2s that, he actually might live because he gets so much protections from his 2. Especially, it scales off int as well, and he's got some int here, so I may not actually kill him if he gets those protections off. And I guess his ult was down. He could have ulted that if it was up, and I don't think he would have died because the mitigation, like I said, is really, really good. But I think he maybe ulted in that mid-fight. If there was a fight, quote-unquote. Do totem. Sometimes I'd skip it there if I'm playing an actual tank because it would just take too long, but I do everything really fast as this character. Might actually go some more CDR. So I've been messing around. Usually, Chronos Pendant in the history of Smite is a bit of a noob trap of an item. You know, most people think like, oh, I should just go Chronos Pendant. I'm playing a mage. I just want to cast my abilities a bunch. It is fun, but as far as like actual effectiveness, a lot of the time you want to just have more damage, and then you're like, when you go through your whole kit, being able to one-shot somebody is a lot better than like being able to cast more and more. You know what I mean? Unless you're playing a very spammy type character, or even a healer. But in general, like, you know, if you just are able to basically one-shot somebody with your Thoth ult or your Ra ult or your Kukulkan ult, that's usually better than just casting a bunch. However, right now they buffed a Chronos Pendant recently, and all the CDR items are pretty low CDR compared to Chronos Pendant and Breastplate and Jotuns. Those are like the one-stop shop for CDR item or CDR stat right now. So I think it's pretty good. I've been going it in like every Aladdin build. I know I didn't have it in my my build guide. Dude, this Chalk is rotating right. He's on tour. He got a shutdown on Medusa, so it was actually a good rotation by him. But again, he'll just be behind off this. We'll go ahead and push the wave as well. We got the backs. So yeah, I've been going Chronos Pendant a decent amount. I'm probably going to go at this game. This next item. I think it's actually worth it now, just because of how much CDR it does end up giving you. Plus, it still has that passive, of course. Every 10 seconds, you get a second off your cooldowns. So we'll get that, and then we'll get some pen. We're going to need some pen right now. Totem of Death is always an option on dot characters like Anubis, because you're very easily going to stack it up. The passive, it does work on each like individual dot ability. So if you just get your one on somebody, within like a, you know, just a snap of your fingers, you're going to have all those, the stacks. So you're going to have, 30% pen, which is very good. But you can also just go Obsidian, just because Obsidian is a little bit higher int, and in the rare scenario where, you know, you don't have your thing stacked, it's going to be a little bit quicker pen. You're going to have it for the beginning of your abilities, for example, like that first tick of that first big burst of damage on your Anubis ult. And yeah, that kind of thing. Maybe your first auto, your 2 auto, like say you stun auto and then ult, like that will have a little bit more pen. Not that big of a deal, but I'm going to go ahead and proxy. I'm so far ahead if we're just looking at the levels on the map. We'll do the blue first. We should one-shot with just her 3-1. What a gameplay loop. 3-1 and we're just killing stuff. He's going to his backs here. I'm going to go ahead and proxy and then maybe I'll run to him. Nice, that full cleared. He's just going to run the other way though. Oh, he won over the wall. That's fine. Do the backs again. Always getting caught up in farm. There's always so much farm up. It isn't an aspect shock, so I'm going to walk through the tower here. Even if he ends up clearing the wave and I have to tank, I'll be fine. Kind of even want to do this because I want to bait him a little bit. Is he going to just 2? Yeah, there it is. I knew he was going to do that. I could have maybe stunned and killed him before he even got his 2 off, but let's go ahead and proxy and look to do red here. We saw it up on the map. Always when you're doing like just AFK stuff like clearing a wave, it shouldn't be that hard. You don't have to look at your screen. Always look at the map. So like right there, I saw the red was coming up, so I said, all right, after I clear this wave, I'm gonna run and do that. I should just one-shot this guy here. He's just dead. There we go. Bye-bye. Enemy has left the game, but he's back. We can probably do this guy if the Hekate comes. Let's see. We have a tier 1 really low in left. We have a tier 1 really low in mid. So that's potential objective plays on the map. Hekate's not really helping me here, but it's actually a wombo combo, Hekate and Anubis, because Hekate's 1, the blue one, it marks things, it marks objectives, and every instance of damage that's done to them procs it. So literally every instance of each dot ability on Anubis. Let me go ahead and put that ward down. I could drop the Naga on this and do this, but it'll just take too long. I'd rather do all the farm up on the map. It'll end up being more worth it. Their Baron is gone. Can we pause for them? Oh, they got my blue. Wow. Somebody did blue. Maybe it was Thanatos. They got red as well. They got all of this? Okay, these backs are out. Oh, pause vote failed. That's too bad. Team didn't want to pause for them. They have a DC. That's criminal. Punished. W punished by the enemy team. I hope all my team dies. In game, of course. Of course, I'm talking about in game. So yeah, that's actually kind of a wombo combo. In general, like characters that have dot abilities with the Hekate one, you can slam objectives like crazy. So if you drop your 3 ult on a like a fire giant with the Hekate one on it, my goodness, it'll blow up fast. Of course, Anubis Hekate, you're not gonna have, unless you're playing like Hekate support or Anubis solo with Hekate mid like we are this game. It's not gonna happen that often, but you can go something like Medusa ADC, and then her one has a lot of. Oh my goodness, this guy keeps DCing. What's going on? Her one has a Medusa one has a lot of instances of damage on it, or you could go something like Mori. You know, maybe you're like Mori support with Anubis on the enemy team. You could transform into the Anubis and proc your Hekate one. You know, stuff like that. All right, we're level 20 at 16 minutes. That's how you farm. I was talking about this in the Dirt to Deity series. We'll go ahead and get... Actually, let's just get Rod here. Who cares? I usually like to go Rod when I can afford it, even if I need some pen earlier, because I don't really need to worry about pen. They're honestly all pretty squishy, and Chalk doesn't have any tank items. An enemy has left the game. I don't know if this guy's bugged or something, but he keeps leaving and joining, leaving and joining. Oh, what I was going to say, I was talking about in the Dirt to Deity series, is I'd be interested, for a lot of you guys out there, if you are like in bronze or gold, whatever, I'd be interested to see if you just only focused on farming. If you just spent the first 15 minutes of the game literally clearing waves and farming everything when it's up, at least like within reason. Like don't do your jungler speed buff if you're a mid laner or an ADC, and like don't steal like certain farm that, you know, that's not really for you. But in general, like just going to stuff when it's up and making sure you've pushed every wave. If you literally just focus on that and only do that, I bet you'd win a lot more games. I would be interested to see if like I was able to get like a certain amount of people to try that and just try and get better at that, and that's all they focus on. I wonder how many more games they'd win. Of course, it gets to a point where like you have a lead, because if you do that, most people at that level are not going to be farming well. They're not going to be going from wave to camp to camp to wave, all that. If you do that and then you start to fight when you have a lead, like it's kind of like a magic trick, because it makes it look like you're just a really good player, but in reality you're kind of just winning, because I'm gonna win that because it's not immune, so Poseidon 1 won't kill me. It's sort of like a magic trick, like you'll just end up looking better than you probably are just because you have leads. So we can do Pyro if he wants to come to it. Kind of hoping my team dies. Their BM didn't pause for the Oh yeah, kill that Medusa Baron. Another little tidbit. I'm just gonna, click my buttons on people and kill him. If he comes so close to the wall, my 3 and my ult go through the wall, and even my 1 goes through the wall. So I could potentially 3 ult him and just kill him through the wall for funsies. But another little tidbit is that you don't really want to buy your upgraded conduit. Okay, now they pause, but the guys... Okay, you don't really want to buy this upgrade Archmage's Gem. You kind of just want to keep it at rank 1 and then get the rest of your items. You can, at that point, go ahead and upgrade it. Or you could save up for 3k potions and just keep it at the base, because the upgrade really isn't that great. Unless you're playing specific characters with like a specific build, like an ult-based build on Nuwa, you want to... you don't really want to like spend your gold on that, because 3k potions are really, really good. And like, for example, I'm just going to finish out my build before I upgrade it. So we'll go ahead and get our obsidian now. We still actually don't really need it because they're really not that tanky. I mean, they get shock too. We'll give them a lot of protections. They do have a lot of healing. So instead of going obsidian, let's go ahead and go divine. I'm going to sell both the Naga minions, and let's just get another item. I could actually potentially go another lifesteal item here. Maybe a Typhons to combo and to get ready for the next patch. Sure, let's go Typhons. I don't need that pen. Usually, I mean, I do have some 10% pen here, 10 here. So we end up with 25%, which is fine into that comp. But usually, if they're actually building any tank items, you'd want to have an obsidian or a totem of death in an Anubis build every single time. Go ahead and 1 that to grab both those guys. I love the blue-yellow scheme. I talked about it in the last video, but if you're still wondering how to do that, just go to settings, go to UI, go to HUD colors, preset 1. Blue-yellow is so much better color-wise in-game. It's what I liked in Smite 1, but we could probably just go fire now. We have a huge lead. I mean, I'm up 6k on the chalk, and almost all of that was from just like actually prioritizing farm correctly, you know what I mean? None of it was from outplaying him, or... I mean, this is part of the issue with mage solos right now as well. They're just better at farming, and there's so much farm on the map that they can get away with it. Definitely want to reset it like Rack, and I take a lot of damage to this. Again, I have 3 Necro stacks, so only reason I have almost 70 Fizz prize for my Anubis passive. I'll take that. I'll take it. Thankies. See, now that we don't have our Anubis passive, we're down to... It's going down still. 60 Fizz prots and 40 magical prots, basically. Alright, we have the Obsidian Dagger, which they're also buffing next patch a little bit. If you pop it, not to res, but if you just pop it for the stats, it'll last 3 more seconds, so that's kind of cool. Some cool changes coming in the next patch. We might do a breakdown video of the patch notes, but... So at this point, with how much damage we have, we have almost 700 in. I could probably one-shot any of them with just a 2-3 ult, including this Baron who has prod items, but can also use his ult for some mitigations. Hey, come on to me. Land on me, bro. Do it. Oh, I actually wanted him to. I was going to 3 ult and one-shot him. Caught the ult. Did I hit anybody? Off the mark. Brack actually took a lot of poke there. Well, we're giving him a lot of value in all this. We should just be pushing left. We had a wave and everything. Easily gotten that. We'll heal up a bit with our Soul Gem and our Typhons tier 2. Oh, plus our Anubis passive. Skabrak is just taking so much poke. Oh, I missed. Hate to see it. Baron's actually a good matchup in Anubis because you're pretty immobile, and of course you can. I'm gonna go ahead and Aegis that. I'm gonna have to Obsidian Dagger here maybe. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this Baron first though. This one, nice. Chalk's running out behind us for some reason. I still have the dagger if I need to use it. But... So yeah, you basically have to ult Baron ult. You can't one it. If you one, you'll still get sucked in. Or you have to have bees or something for it. We could probably end here. I mean, you should just threaten to end here because if Soul doesn't back, then she's split pushing, so we want to make her try and back. But yeah, we can just end. Braken's chasing the chalk out. Pop the dagger for some extra stats because the game's over anyway. Well, I didn't really get to do a whole lot that game, but at least we showed you guys how to properly farm. I mean, we hit level 20 at 16.5 minutes. And
victory.
We got the victory. The victory royale. I mean, that's going to happen a lot of the time, especially because like I can just so easily pub stomp with like characters like Anubis or mages in solo. And and they definitely need to adjust it. I only did 8k damage, but look at the minion damage. Oh, the jungle damage is not. Wow, wait, I did so much jungle damage. That's crazy. But that Medusa did a lot of actual player damage. You ever see that? You never expect to see an 8k Anubis damage in the A to Z. But we hit level 20 at 16 minutes, so that's honestly a dub. On trades, somebody every month just for you to touch me like that. 3 years in for what? Wasn't me. Trade. Actually wasn't. My team just kind of won the game. But yeah, anyway, still a decent game. I got to go over kind of how to play Anubis, how he works, how to run around the map and hyper farm. And like I said, I feel like if you just kind of take that approach into a lot of your games. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't try and help your team or fight, but you definitely, most people I watch for the tier 2 deity or when I coach them, they overhelp and they don't prioritize farm as much as they should. And then they think because their teammates are like BMing or blaming, they like, oh, you didn't call missing or you did call missing, but I'm an idiot. Like they think, oh, I just need to help them. But in reality, the best way to help your team is to carry them. So, I mean, if you just improve and get better at like the farm game and then use that level lead and then an XP lead or the gold lead to kind of carry them, I mean, that's the best way you can help them, honestly. And if it's up to them to actually make correct plays and make correct choices on the map. But that's how it goes. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Who's up next? Let me check real quick. Who we got? Afro. Okay, I hate to say it, but I've actually been enjoying playing Afro a lot lately because I've been going Staffa Mirrodin on her and just triple threeing people, which is the biggest dopamine hit. You guys saw it in a video we uploaded maybe yesterday or the day before, but I'm actually excited about that. We're probably just going to do that again. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay safe and healthy as always. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.